Hello and welcome to Dark Souls 3. In today's video I'm going to do a review of the Morne's Great Hammer. There it is there, the location of it, how it works PVE, how it works as an anti-gank weapon, how it works as solo PvP, and my overall impressions of it. Now, to get it, it's off Aegon of Karim. You can get it anytime in the game, before Irina dies, after Irina dies, but if you can't find him, try going here first, just outside the tutorial boss, or back in the cell where Irina was. That's where you will find him. Okay, beat him, get his weapon. Moving on to this, the first rule I found with this weapon is do not use it one-handed. You will get absolutely annihilated and embarrassed by this peon here. When you do get two-handed and you do take your time against lower enemies, I chose this level because they're some of the hardest kind of single small enemies in the game. You will devastate them. You know, 2 hits, they're gone. You can easily evade them just like this. Easily dead. There we go. Job done. As for the running, it easily staggers small enemies as well. That's all you need to do there. And he's done. Now I finally get to show off the skill of the weapon now. This one here, Morne's Rage. Takes off a 600 easy one-hit kill. But as against bigger enemies, you'll see here, didn't interrupt his move. He kept doing that. Still took off 600, still a decent amount. But when you come up against bigger enemies, I found out that this weapon, as big as it is, as heavy as it is, it doesn't interrupt their attacks. This is another prime example here. I run up here, I use Morne's Rage, which you think should stop him in his tracks. He just keeps on pummeling me. And the PVE side, I think there's just better weapons you can use, which I mentioned at the end, which one I think is better than this. So that's the PVE side of things. Moving on to using it as an anti-gank weapon, the 1v2, 1v3, this is my first attempt, that didn't work. This is my second attempt trying to use the Morne's Rage. That didn't work, I simply didn't have enough energy to get the thing away. So what I did was I changed up my set. I was still playing on my PVE kind of loadout, so I changed a bunch of things. I put on the Prisoner's Chain. I put on the Ring of Physical Resistance. Ring of Steel Protection, sorry. Ring of Favor still on there. And also the Howl's Ring. What I wanted to do is give myself more HP, better armor, tank up a bit so I can at least get it off. Get the Morne's Rage attack off and see what damage it can do. And I fared a lot better, I felt, whenever I had built it right. So moving into another fight here, tanking up, I do get the shot away, takes off a moderate amount of damage. 500 did it again, another 500. But I was just outnumbered, didn't have a chance. Again, using it here, I'm trying to go one-handed, no idea why. Get it off, so I'm getting it off, but then I just get overpowered. Didn't find that any use. Now this next up, I actually do win. I don't think it counts because the guy didn't have any energy, but a win's a win in Dark Souls, and you'll hear my my live response. Finally. I tried it a bit more as an anti-gank weapon, but I didn't find it versatile enough to deal with all the different types of enemies you have. I get absolutely dominated by a pyro and a magic here. So as for PvP anti-gank, I need another weapon. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But as for one-on-one PvP, this will dominate. You'll see here, it just dominated that guy. It was a lot of fun to use actually as well. I think there's another clip of me fighting another guy. Just using the same technique, waiting for him to make a move, doing 2 two-handed swipes, bring out the Morne Rage, and there you go. So as for PvP, you will dominate with this weapon. In another fight which isn't recorded, I actually took off over 1,000 damage just by using Morne's Rage once, and this weapon is max at +5. So if you break down the Great Hammer, in order to get it, you need 50 strength, 30 faith. I'm only level 113, so I had to sacrifice a lot. It takes, I think it's 18 Twinkling Titanite and a Titanite slab, which again is very, very expensive, to get my, what's that, 580 attack. I have compared it to my Claymore +10, which you can buff. You cannot buff the hammer, and once you buff the claymore you get to what's that, 552, which is less than 40 difference for what I believe is a more versatile weapon. So as for PvP, having a bit of fun, this weapon is great. Make a new character just for this weapon. But for PvE, for anti-gank, use the weapon you've always been using to get as far as you have in the game. And that would be my review of the hammer. Get about a 5 out of 10.